Once again, hearts pounding. Once again, drama down to the final second. But here we are, Chicago 6-3 and more alive than ever. Today I've got 3 stories that'll help you understand why this team is different, why this season feels special, but also why some things need to change now if we're serious about making a run. First, we're talking about a veteran wide receiver who's killing crucial drives, while a rookie waits on the bench. Then, I'll break down how the defensive players are getting exposed week after week, and with Minnesota on deck, this is urgent. And finally, we're diving into how our quarterback is handling the chaos, the stone hands around him, and why his leadership is taking this team places we haven't seen in years. If you want the real truth about these Bears, if you want to understand what's really going down at Soldier Field, stick around till the end because it's about to get intense. And if you love these Bears like I do, hit that like button right now and subscribe, because this family is growing and you do not want to be left out. Look, I know winning is all that matters, I get it. But let me tell you something that's got me heated after this game against the Giants. 7 drops, 7, and 3 of those 3 came from Olamide Zaccos. So I gotta ask, how many more chances are we giving this guy? While Luther Burden 3 is just sitting on the bench watching us blow drives. I'm telling you right now, Zaccos shouldn't be on the field over Burden, period. No debate. Because tell me, what can OZ do that Burden can't? Well, wait, exactly nothing. But Burden can do a whole lot of things this 28-year-old vet just can't anymore. We're talking about a game where we had to come back from down 10 in the last 6 minutes. A game where every possession, every play, every catch mattered. And this dude dropped 3 passes that could have completely flipped the momentum. 3 wasted chances while Caleb Williams is out there running for his life, dodging sacks, pulling magic out of nowhere. I think Ben Johnson is a genius. I've said it 1,000 times, but I gotta question him here. Why are we still giving snaps to Zaccos when we've got a rookie with explosion, drafted specifically to make these kinds of plays? Burden's got speed, he's got hands, he's got that X factor we need in clutch moments. Let's look at the big picture. We're 6-3. Already past last season's win total, and the schedule gets brutal from here on out. Minnesota with Justin Jefferson is up next. You really think we can afford to have a receiver dropping 3 passes in a game against a 2-8 Giants team? What's gonna happen when we face real defenses? And it's not just this game. This is a pattern. Zaccos isn't producing at the level we need. Meanwhile, Burden's waiting, hungry, ready to prove why he was a draft pick. This is the time to give him that shot. I know some folks are gonna say, but we won the game. Miguel, yeah, we did. Thanks to Caleb Williams running 17 yards for the game-winning touchdown. Thanks to Romo Duns making highlight plays even though he had a drop too. Thanks to our defense forcing that huge fumble from Jackson Dart, but we won in spite of Zaccos. Not because of him. Ben Johnson said after the game that the drops were an anomaly and not really who we are. I respect that. But when one guy is responsible for nearly half of those drops, isn't it time to make a change? Isn't it time to give the kid with all the upside a real shot? Because here's the truth, in the playoffs, when it really counts, you can't have unreliable receivers. You can't have guys dropping key passes. You need players who step up when it matters. And right now, Zaccos ain't that guy. Luther Burden 3 deserves his shot. This team deserves to have its best players on the field. And Bears fans, after years of mediocrity, deserve to see this team roll out its best lineup. So I'm asking, how much longer are we gonna wait to make the obvious move? Now let's talk about something that's got me really worried, Dan. It should have you worried too. Our secondary is getting exposed, and with Justin Jefferson coming next week, this isn't just urgent, it's critical. Tyreek Stevenson and Nashan Wright had performances that were flat out unacceptable. And I don't say that lightly. I know what Chicago defense means. Urlacher, Peppers, Hicks, the monsters of the Midway. This city was built on dominant defense. But what I saw Sunday, that wasn't it. Let's start with Stevenson. I honestly thought this was going to be his breakout game. The Giants were without Malik Neighbors, no real threats at wide out. Should have been a walk in the park for our corner. But what happened? Darius Slayton turned into Malik Neighbors out there, and he did it all at Stevenson's expense. That's the straight week Stevenson's giving up big plays in the passing game. Against Cincinnati, fine, they've got legit weapons. But against the Giants, no excuse. And here's what scares me. Justin Jefferson is next. Justin Jefferson, one of the best wideouts in the entire league. If Stevenson can't lock down Slayton, what's going to happen against Jefferson? Let me ask you this and think hard. Do you trust Stevenson to slow down Jefferson? Because I'll be real with I've got my doubts, and those doubts are keeping me up at night. We know what Jefferson can do. He can wreck a game by himself. Now let's talk about Nash and Wright, and this one hurts. Because I see the effort. The guy's always around the ball, always in position. But being in position doesn't mean a thing if you don't finish the play. Wright dropped TWO easy picks, TWO, interceptions that any NFL corner has to come down with. The first one, the Giants scored a touchdown right after. The second, they added a field goal before halftime. That's a 10-point swing directly tied to those stone hands. In a game we won by just 4 points. Those 10 points could have been the difference between a comfortable win and another heart attack comeback. And it's not just the missed picks. Wright also gave up multiple big plays in the passing game. Yeah, he recovered Dart's fumble that was huge, kept us in it. I'll give him that. The effort's there. But effort without execution doesn't win games in January. Look, I get it, Noah Sewell had a rough day too. His tackling angles were brutal, especially on that 42-yard run by Devin Singletary and Dart's 24-yard touchdown. But Sewell's a rookie, he's learning. Stevenson and Wright are vets. They're supposed to be anchors on this defense. Here's the context we can't ignore. Jackson Dart, a rookie quarterback, ran for the touchdowns on us, made us look slow, confused, out of sync. And when Russell Wilson came in during the fourth quarter, we finally woke up. But what does that say about our prep? What does that say about our adjustments? I think Matt Eberflus needs make changes now. We can't wait for Minnesota to torch us even worse. We can't wait for Jefferson to drop 100 yards and 3 touchdowns on us before we realize we've got serious issues in the secondary. And you know what's most frustrating? We've got the talent. We've got the players. But we're not executing. We're not making the plays we have to make. In Chicago, defense is our identity. It's who we are. And right now, that identity is in crisis. The Packers see it. The Vikings see it. The Lions see it. The whole NFC North knows our secondary is vulnerable. And you know what that means in this division. It means they're gonna keep coming at us until we prove we can stop them. So I'm asking, do you trust Eberflus to fix this in a week? Do you believe Stevenson and Wright can step up when we need them most? Because I'm telling you, if they don't get a lot better, our dream season could turn into a nightmare real quick. But now, let me talk about something that's got me fired up. Something that makes me believe this team, despite all the issues, can go far. And that something is Caleb Williams and his growth as a leader. Look at the Sunday stats. 20 completions on 36 attempts, 220 yards. 1 touchdown, 83.1 rating. Average numbers, right? Wrong, because stats don't tell the whole story. They don't show leadership. They don't show resilience. They don't show heart. Caleb Williams had to deal with 7 drops from his receivers. 7 perfect throws that just hit the turf. You know how he responded? Not with frustration. Not with yelling. Not pointing fingers. He responded like a leader. Listen to what he said after the game. You don't put those guys down. You don't go curse them out or anything like that. You lift them up and say, it's time to make a play and I need all of you. I need you right now. It's time to go win this game. Let me ask you, can you imagine Trubisky saying that? Can you imagine that kind of maturity, that kind of poise, that kind of leadership from a second-year quarterback? I can't, and that's what makes Caleb special. Ben Johnson is shaping this kid. He's molding him not just into a quarterback who can make every throw, but into a leader who can elevate the whole squad. And we're seeing it happen in real time when the game was on the line. When we were down 20-10 with 6 minutes left, who stepped up and said, follow me? Caleb Williams. He led to touchdown drives in the final 6 minutes. First one ended with a 2-yard strike to Rome Odunze. Second one, he took it himself 17 yards to the house. And let's talk about those 63 rushing yards. Career high, 8 carries, 0 sacks allowed despite constant pressure. This kid used his legs not just to escape but to attack, to keep drives alive, to make plays when protection broke down and no one was open. I think we're watching the evolution of a quarterback who can win in multiple ways. It's not just the arm. It's not just the mobility. It's the mind. It's the leadership. It's the ability to keep 50 to guys believing when everything's falling apart. 4 of the last 6 games have been one-score wins where Chicago was trailing in the fourth quarter. That's not luck. That's not random. That's a team that believes in its quarterback and a quarterback who believes in his team. Look at what he said about these comebacks. I've said this a few times now. That it does build confidence, that no matter the deficit, no matter how far behind we are or what happened during the game, we can come back as a team, and that's what we did today. But here's the part I love, the part that shows real maturity, but we'd like to figure out, as a team, how to score. Stop them, score. Stop them, get to the point where we're just marching down the field. The defense is shutting them down. We're putting up points and winning these games a little earlier than we have been. That's self-awareness. That's understanding that even though they're winning, the process needs to improve. That's a quarterback who's not satisfied with just winning, he wants to dominate. And here's the context we can't forget. A year ago, Caleb was at USC dealing with a program in transition. Now he's in Chicago, leading a team to 6-3, already surpassing last year's win total in just 9 games. The transformation is insane. Ben Johnson deserves a ton of credit here. His impact on Caleb's leadership is obvious. The way he handles pressure, the way he communicates, the way he stays cool when everything's falling apart, that's elite coaching. I'm telling you, we're witnessing the birth of an elite quarterback. We're not there yet, but we're on the way. And when that moment comes, when Caleb hits his full potential, this team is going to be unstoppable. You know why I believe that? Because we're already winning without playing our best football. Imagine when everything clicks. When the O-line is fully healthy. When the receivers stop dropping everything. When the secondary gets fixed. If we're winning now with all these issues, what's going to happen when it all comes together? Next week we face Minnesota. Justin Jefferson. A hostile environment. A chance to make a statement in the division. And I believe Caleb Williams will be ready. He'll be prepared. He'll lead. So I'm asking, are you ready to believe? Are you ready to accept that this team is different? Are you ready for the ride ahead? Because I'm telling you, with Caleb Williams leading this team, with Ben Johnson calling the shots, with this never-quit mindset, we can go toe-to-toe with anybody. We just broke down 3 critical situations for these Bears. First, the urgent need to give Luther Burden 3 more snaps over Olamide Zacchaeus. So I'm asking, do you agree Burden deserves those reps, or do you think us still has something left? Second, the serious issues in our secondary with Tyreek Stevenson and Nahshon Wright getting exposed week after week. With Justin Jefferson coming, I'm asking, do you trust Eberflus to fix this? Or are you as worried as I am? And third, the rising leadership of Caleb Williams and how he's changing the culture of this team. Do you think Caleb is already an elite quarterback, or does he still need more time? I want to hear your takes in the comments. I want to know what you think, because this is the most passionate Bears family on the planet. That's what we are here, a family. We're not just fans watching videos. We're a community that lives and breathes navy blue and orange. If you agree with my take on Burden, hit that like button right now. If you think we need urgent changes on defense, subscribe to the channel. And if you believe in Caleb Williams like I do, share this video with every Bears fan you know. Because I promise you this, tomorrow we've got more breaking news. This Minnesota week is going to be packed with content. And you do not want to miss what's coming for Chicago. You don't want to miss the deepest, most passionate, most real Bears analysis on all of YouTube. We're 6-3, family. We're in the middle of something special. But the work is just beginning. Next week is huge. And I'll be right here, every day, bringing you the content you deserve. So join this family. Smash that subscribe button. Hit the bell so you don't miss a thing. Because in Chicago, we don't play around. We go for it all. Bear down, family. Bear down, and I'll see you in the next video with more exclusive breakdowns of your Chicago Bears.